Alright, welcome to another video. This time it's going to be about calipers, digital calipers, how to interface to them. Well, not all of them. This Chinese one I will just talk about briefly and not at all about interfacing to it. So yeah, basically we'll talk about different ways of measurement or how these different calipers work. One does not do absolute measurement or measurements. As long as it has the battery. I don't know, I haven't used this, but I guess it will work just as this one does. It will not remember the zero, the origin. This one has a button for the origin. These two only have on, zero, zero, on, off. So yeah, I don't like these. I prefer the absolute ones. I think most people would, but yeah. So the thing that prompted me to look into these a bit was that I bought on an auction 2 broken pairs of this kind. The electronic part was, well, the electronics were working, but the cover and display and stuff were not broken, or not working, sorry, but the electronics inside was. But for instance, if you don't have this part, you can't have a battery in it, and it makes it a lot harder to use. So I thought I would have a look and see what I can do with these. I haven't used this. Well, I've used them before, but I haven't done any work. I have never taken this apart before, so I thought, well, why not? So if you take a look at these, first of all, they do not have a data port, and these non-absolute ones, I guess, are the cheapest models, cheapest versions. They actually do not have, this one doesn't anyway, have the SPC data port on the PCB inside. But from what I have seen and read online, all the absolute calipers that Mitutoyo makes, even if they were ordered without the data port, then they still have the data port on the PCB. For instance, if we look at this one, obviously very broken, but here you see there should be a data port here. There isn't. There's no way to get in there. And if we look, I've taped it shut, but if we have a look here where the data port should be, there's some sort of provision for it right here. But these are the only IP67 parts that I have, so I haven't looked at a working pair with data port, so I don't know exactly how that looks. But if we look at the PCB from inside that same broken housing, you see here these 5 pads right here. I'll remove this. You can see here, these are the 5 pads for the SPC data out data port. And well, and the nice thing about the IP67 coolant proof version is that they have actual tactile switches, which is very nice. I prefer that. It's a much better feeling than the normal or the other kind that they have. You can hear the click. Much better feedback. So I thought, okay, the case is obviously not working and the display is cracked in a million pieces, but the PCB itself looks fine. It works. I probed it and it works fine. And I'll have a go at doing the SPC output part. And well, that's what I thought, and I did. I'll show you that in a second. A guy on YouTube, EEVBlog, I don't know his name, but he has a bunch of videos. He's from Canada, funny fella, knows a lot more than me, but he had a pair of, well, they look like these. Basically all Chinese ones, $10 ones. These were also $10, $11 or something. But here in Sweden. Yeah, I mean, they work, but as he has shown in his videos, they draw about 5 times as much current as the Mitutoyo ones. And it's just crap quality. Well, I don't want to use the word quality even in the same sentence as describing these. But, I mean, I can scribe with them. I don't care about them. And, yeah. And here you see if it works, and then it will auto turn. It will turn itself off after, I don't know what, a minute maybe, to save battery, because it draws a lot of current. But when you go back to it and you want to see what was that measurement, because, well, I don't remember, turn it on, well, good luck. Well, of course you could do this, but actually let's see if that works. 17, 19. Yeah, you see, that doesn't even work. So, nice. $31, $34, $33. It's off by 0.02 of a millimeter. So, yeah, it's crap, but for most stuff it will work. I wouldn't. I don't have the need to buy a set of these very nice ones new. It's too expensive for me. But anyway, so enough about these crap ones. Yes, they have a bigger battery. Yay, whoop-de-doo. A smaller one wouldn't last more than a couple of days maybe. So I'll put that away. And yeah, another thing we can have a look at is on the back of this one. I hope it shows. Actually, I don't have another one handy, but so this is not capacitive sensing, it's inductance sensing, from what I understand, from what I've read online. So that's how they keep track. There's actually two. I'll show a picture of it maybe if I find one. I'm not breaking up this one to show you. So, but there's a pattern underneath the tape here, as well on these non-absolute ones. But here it's just incremental, and here it's absolute. So you have incremental, and it also keeps another set of patterns that tells the electronics where it is. So it doesn't matter how fast you move it, it will never lose track. These ones will. Well, this one is obviously much better than the Chinese crap ones, but yeah, this one could lose its track, its position. These ones cannot. It's butter smooth. Smooth as silk. Very nice. And I like these 12-inch ones a lot. They are much more sturdy. Of course, it's too big for some applications, and if you're doing very small, intricate work, then yeah, why would you need 12-inch ones or 300mm ones? It makes no sense. But I like it. I like it a lot. So the SPC data output stuff. This one has the data output port. I'll remove the very snug cap. So I don't know if you can see this, but I think so. There we go. There's 5 pads. Well, you can see that on the PCB before as well. I'll bring those back. Just show you. These ones have 4. I haven't even looked into the data protocol for interfacing with these. I know a lot of people use them for very cheap DROs, digital readouts for hobby shops, small lathes, mills, stuff like that. And yeah, why not? Better than nothing. But and of course you wouldn't hack one of these up just to screw it onto a compound table on a small mill. These are very expensive and very nice, and there's purpose made stuff for that application, so don't hack these up. But one problem that I find with working with digital calipers is that, well, you go in and work around a part and try to do a measurement or down there, and you can't really see the display. And also the display, albeit very good, you can see it from very wide viewing angles, but it serves its purpose. But I would like to be able to go in, take a measurement, even well on this side or upside down, and not being able to look at the display, but have a remote display. And I'll take that away as well. So I looked online, and there's no secret behind it. There's plenty of information available. So this is just, well, obviously it's using a breadboard. I will make a PCB for it and put it in a small plastic case. that will be very nice. But yeah, so this is something that I definitely do not like. I know Dave Jones will most likely agree. Proprietary connectors, hate them. Especially when the only people that make them are Mitutoyo. Well, they're not cheap. New, I've seen many times on eBay, new cables. It's just a piece of cable. It's nothing. $80 or $50 for a cable? No. Sure, you can find them used, which I did use secondhand. Still works fine. Well, I think I bought 3 of these cables right here for what, $4 each, but the shipping was 30. So yeah, go figure. So yeah, just plug that right in here. Contact points down. There's a multitude of different cables. I have another one with a data button on it that you could use to send data just only when you want to. For instance, there's no problem interfacing this with another PIC microcontroller or using USB, and that way you have a data input system, which is very nice. I think I might just do that, but not at the moment. That way you can take your measurement wherever you're doing. Usually you would be in front of a computer, so you have a cable, a box and USB. Fine. And then for instance you do work in SolidWorks or just a spreadsheet or whatever program you want. The USB interface acts as a HID component, a human interface device. You can have it set as a keyboard, that is what it will be. And as soon as you press the data button, it will send off just as you would press the digits as they appear in the display. They will be entered wherever the cursor or pointer is in your program or application. SolidWorks, Excel, whatever. But for this, there's a request pin that, well, that's what the data stuff is for, the data button. But I let the microcontroller take care of the request pin and all that. And yeah, so yeah, I made I don't know if it will show up on the video, but I made a small graphics logo copy of Mitutoyo's old logo, which I think is very nice. I hope it will show up. But yeah, let's give this a go. So you see it's off here, nothing. I turn on the calipers, and yeah, I think it's showing there's some banding or whatever rolling on the well, I can't see it, but it will show up on the video. But yeah, I hope you can see this. It tracks very good. There's very little latency between this one and that one. And if I turn this off and move it, obviously nothing will happen here. And as soon as I turn this on, it will display the new correct reading. and that's thanks to this being absolute. And well, incremental. Let's see. And this will track as well, no problem. And you can go back to absolute. Well, actually I have to hold it a bit longer. There we go. And it jumps back, no problem at all. So I'll turn this off and I'll switch device. Anyway, and this is a digital dial indicator, I think they're called. Plug it in the same way, data port. These ones I haven't opened actually, so this one is the only one I have. It has the data port. I would expect all of these absolute ones to have the data port, even if they don't have the hole punched out of the case. But as I said, this is the only one I have. I haven't been able to check that out. So feel free to do it yourself though. So I'm turning this on again. And turning this on. It's reading 0. And this works just as well. No problem. Of course, you don't have to have one of these cables. Before I purchased one, I actually soldered just regular 0.1 inch pin headers to the pads on the PCB. Sure, the pitch on the pads of the this one is, or all of these are 1.6 millimeters pitch of the PCB pads. So you have to bend the pins to fit that, but no problem, it works fine. Obviously you have pins sticking out of the case, it's not very nice, and chips and dirt and whatever can get in very easy. So it's, if you're going to do this, find a cable used on eBay, buy that, it will be worth it. The other side of these, it's just an IDC 10 pin with a center key on one side. Nothing exotic, nothing strange about it at all, so works fine. I don't think you can see this side. Here we go. Yep, works good. Alright, the camera crapped out on me last night, so yeah, it overheats after about 25 minutes, it appears. So yeah, a couple of things to point out. Yeah, I mean, these are great quality. I like everything about these, well, except the proprietary connector, of course, but otherwise I have no complaints. There are two wipers, see if you can see that, one on each side, one here and one on this side. They're just I think, well, some kind of rubber or soft plastic. They slide against this and keep dirt and grime out of the electronics box, or the read unit, as Mitutoyo likes to call it. So yeah, you can, well, you have to remove the sticker from the back. There's 4 screws. This sticker is on an aluminum backing, so if you're careful, you can peel it off and put it back on again. but you need to remove those 4 screws. This pops off. The PCB and display and everything is kept in place by additional very small screws. You can leave those. You don't need to remove the PCB to have access to the wipers. And the wipers, you can just remove them from the plastic and clean them out, clean them off, put them back in, and yeah, keep them clean and keep your calipers free from dirt and grime and what have you. These will work for a very long time if you take care of them. There are a few drawbacks to well, I haven't seen any quality calipers really that aren't made, well, the housing that isn't made of plastic. Obviously what happens if you drop these, well, these are quite heavy. You could obviously damage the tips, the points. You can bend it, but most likely you will break the plastic. And from what I've gathered, you cannot buy, for example, if you only crack the display, you can't buy just the display. You have to buy the complete read unit. I think you can buy new battery lids for the battery compartment, and for some models I think there are other small parts, like probably the thumb wheel, this holder for the thumb wheel maybe, but yeah, if you crack the case itself, you're out of luck. You have to buy a new read unit. If you watch this video and you have broken parts, don't throw them away. Just send me a message, because I like to keep these alive as long as possible. So, well, not just these, but others. If I find broken ones for a good price, I'll and they're not busted. I mean the metal parts aren't bent out of shape or anything. I probably pick it up and try to put something together and sell it, so that someone else can purchase a nice set of used calipers that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and hopefully make a buck or two, obviously. But yeah, I don't like throwing stuff away. I like to fix it. So yeah, even if you don't, but that's fine. I mean, go out, you can buy a new read unit or a new caliper. But yeah, if you're thinking about throwing stuff away, Mitutoyo stuff, send me a message. I might give you a few bucks for it instead. So yeah, I think that's it about this. I mean, another thing I thought about doing with the SPC data output stuff that I showed you earlier here, the display, the OLED display. First I thought about maybe integrating the OLED display and everything into a new case that maybe I'll 3D print or something, but well, it would be nice. You could take readings or take measurements and see the display, even if it's very dark or very bright or sunny out or whatever. But yeah, it would be a bit clunky, and yeah, it wouldn't really be it would be nice if Mitutoyo made a model with an OLED display. Let's put it that way. But in order for me to make a version of that, it would have to have two PCBs sandwiched on top of each other. The second add-on PCB would use the data port, the SPC data port, and take the readings that way. And yeah, it would be kind of thick here, and yeah, no, and like I said earlier, I want to be able to measure things without having the ability to see this display, and yeah, having a different display here doesn't really help that. Another thing one could do while using or making the data output, the SPC stuff, in an earlier video I made like a week ago or so I think, I just quickly show an old analog VU meter and a 8-digit 7-segment display as well. You can easily hook that up as well to the PIC processor. You could do that, and that way you could. I mean, I have no need for it right now anyway, but one could make a device with that big VU meter, and you can enter, for example, your target dimension for a said part or whatever, and let's say it's 25 millimeters and plus minus 200ths of a millimeter. Okay, fine, and then you would take the measurement, and then you won't need to remember the tolerance afterwards. And what was it? Was it 100, hundreds, or 200ths? The large VU meter would tell you when you're in within tolerance, or something like that. I mean, I'm new to this metalworking and fabrication and stuff like that, so I'm only really guessing here what it could be used for, based on what I've seen other devices being used for, and yeah, there's a whole lot of things you can do with if you have a working data port interface that you made yourself. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of info on this as well on the internet, not as much as on the cheap calipers, but there still are, and people have been integrating these with Arduinos and stuff like that. I myself have never used an Arduino, but I've seen the interface done towards one, and or using one, and seems to work fine. There's really not much to it, so yeah, go out and try it yourself. And I had a thought about the putting PDF print screens or whatever into the video, and obviously there's copyright stuff involved with that, so yeah, if I find the links again, I mean, I've saved the PDFs myself, but I'll try to find the links. I'll put them in the description, so in case the links die, I can change them later. So yeah, otherwise just Google Mitutoyo SPC output data port or anything like that, and you will definitely find PDFs with the interface specifications, timings, protocol, everything is readily available. So I encourage everyone to try it that wants to. If there's a lot of interest, I doubt it will be, but if there are people asking about the display solution that I just showed you, yeah, maybe I'll make up a couple and sell them, but at the moment I'll just do that for me and my use. And yeah, I'll definitely do a follow-up video on that once it's done. Yeah, all right. Until next time.